Alright y'all, this is the advanced movement and tips video that I have for everyone on Bloodhunt. This is a bit more advanced, you know, if you've been playing for a little bit, kind of getting used to the game, stuff like that. I'm kind of leaving off of actually the beginner video. I'm gonna have a time card actually to go check that video out. So be sure to go check that out if you're new. Or maybe there's some things in here that I didn't mention because there was stuff in that video that, hey, not even some of you people might not even know. So, you know, be sure to go check that out. Like I said, I'm gonna have a time card for that. Be sure to check it out. Also, if you are new to the channel, hey, if you found any of these types of tips, you know, useful or something that you didn't know, something new, hey, be sure to drop a sub and like the video, you know what I'm saying? And let me know what, you know, tip or trick here that was new for you, you know? But I want to see kind of like what I'm showing some newer people, some advanced people, yada, yada, yada. But let's get right into it. I just had to do that little promo in the beginning, but you know, we're going to start with something that I feel that a lot of people that have been playing may not know, which basically if you jump from a high building like this, you know how it does that to you, kind of puts you in that animation like you just hit the ground. Basically, try this instead. And it's going to basically cancel that emote and you'll still be able to shoot. When you are about to land, start spamming your slide button and it should look kind of like this. So you jump and I'm spamming my slide and you slide out of it and it cancels it. And you don't go into that emote and you're still able to shoot your weapon. And it's good to know in a firefight as doing that, you're not getting stuck in an emote or like an animation while you're in a gunfight. And instead you can slide out of it, jump immediately and start fighting again. The next tip that I'm gonna have for more advanced players is tunnels like these. Maybe not this one in specific because it might be a bit low. If you're in a tunnel like this in a gunfight and you have a melee weapon, switch to the melee weapon. And the reason being is because in these types of tunnels, you could kind of jump from the walls. This one's a little bit low, so you might not be able to do it in one this small. But in tunnels like these, with like that are like a bit taller, you can basically just jump from wall to wall, kind of like that, except it'll be more consistent. And you can just swing on the person. And obviously, if you know you're more advanced, melee weapons, you know, give you health whenever you hit them. So if they're shooting at you, you know, you hit them, you're gaining health. And they're going to be kind of trapped in here because they can't hit you as easily when you do that, when you jump off the walls. And they're kind of screwed because they're in a gunfight with a melee weapon. Melee weapons are actually like OP. Another tip I have, when you're on rooftops, all right, one thing I recommend is if you're coming up from a higher up one like this, and you go onto one kind of like that where it's sloped down, just slide. Jump, slide, and then you just kind of keep the movement going, you know? Now that may not be something that you guys don't know. You might know that already, but I feel like that's something that some people don't know. And it's useful because think of it, I compare the movement into this game on rooftops in a sense like CSGO surfing, you know? You could just keep the movements going and it can, you know, you just keep gliding like butter, you know? If you do stuff like that, you jump onto a roof that's more like angled like this, and you just keep the movement going, you know? And you go here, you jump up, jump, yada yada yada, you slide here, double jump, climb, you know. Real quick, I covered it in the beginner video, but I'll cover it in here. Next thing is the double jump. If you don't know that by now and you're in this video, I don't know how you don't know it, to be honest. But basically what the double jump is, you know, it's a double jump. It gets you farther. You kind of float in the air and it looks just like this. Just like that. You see how much more ground you cover when you do that. Basically, to do it, I'm gonna cover it quickly because like I said, I already covered it in my last video, but just for anybody that may not know, I'm gonna cover it here too. Basically, you need a melee weapon. You can't do it with your fists. It doesn't matter what melee weapon, it just has to be a melee weapon and you have to have it out. And basically what you do is you slide, like basically as if you're gonna slide jump from a roof to a roof, but basically, it's almost at the same time, but it's not. As soon as you press your jump button, keep in mind I'm on keyboard or I'm on controller, so it may be different. So whatever you'd use on like keyboard and mouse for example, you basically slide and then basically right when you jump you're pressing your swing button or your trigger on controller or your left click on mouse and you kind of just swing. But if you do it at the same time, you get what I just did and you just kind of slide and swing and you don't get anywhere. Versus if you slide, basically just jump swing. It's got to be quick. It's got to be almost like as if it's at the same time. Like that, and then you glide. And one thing I recommend, I didn't say it in the last video, but one thing I really recommend for getting movement down and getting used to this type of stuff is just go into the solo tutorial. You pick up the starter weapon and then you come right over here to the, it's on the other side of this, but the weapon store, and you just grab a melee weapon and you could just practice all of this stuff in here. There's no time limit, no nothing, and you could just practice in this area. And I really recommend it because it's going to help with getting movement down, getting shit like that down, the double jump. I got one more for you guys. I should have covered it in my beginner video, but I didn't, so I'm going to cover it here. If you're in a gunfight, you know, someone someone's they're at the ground shooting at you, or even at the roof, you could jump off. You guys are more advanced, I'm assuming, so you might know this already, but obviously when you jump and you're aiming a weapon, it kind of goes to like a slow motion. It's good to know because if you're running away from someone, even on the ground, you slide and you start climbing, they're shooting at you, you can jump off by basically pressing your jump button and either pulling back on your left stick or holding S, and you basically jump off and you're able to get either behind them, or you just become harder to shoot if they're on the side. You shoot at them like that, go up here, something like that. You just kind of use the environment to your advantage. And it's good to know because if you just stay climbing like a bot, you can either get killed, or if people are up here shooting down at you, you're just gonna run right into them. But that's gonna be it for this video. If you guys want, I mentioned it in my beginner video, if you want like a guide of each character, and I could kind of like break down what they do and kind of go in depth on what I feel like beginners should be playing, advanced players should be playing, people that play very aggressive or past, if you want a video kind of like that about the different characters, be sure to let me know in the comments and like this video. Let's try and get this to 10 likes. I hope y'all like the video. Matter of fact, I'm still learning the game. I'm not trying to sit here and act like I'm some advanced player. Like I said, if you want that type of character video, be sure to let me know, and also go check out my beginner video if there's some things you might have felt I left out, because I kind of covered more in there. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.